Welcome to the Central Alabama High School Sports Show podcast, brought to you by Andrew Sports Medicine, Lander Frost, Hamburger Heaven, Huffman Electric, and State Farm.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Snapper Lancaster, welcoming you to another edition of the Central Alabama High School Sports Show. As you can tell, we're in another library, which means we're at another high school, and this week we're visiting Pelham High School, the home of the Panthers, and sitting in on the first segment with me will be their athletic director, Ms. Kim Keel, and I've always known you as Coach Keel for the years. And Coach, first of all, good to see you. And secondly, tell us a little bit about your background and what has led you to be the athletic director here.
Well, thank you for having me. I really do appreciate it. Actually, this is my 21st year at Pelham. I started off as the head girls basketball coach. I've also been the head girls volleyball coach and an assistant softball coach. Worked my way up with an assistant athletic director position, mainly dealing with eligibility for student athletes, and worked my way into the role at the high school. And then when we became Pelham City Schools, I was promoted to the director of athletics for our school system. And just a fantastic position to be in, where you can be a part of all your student athletes' lives on and off the court. Which is very important to us, and having our coaches being at a place where I can be there to help support them, because they're the ones that are driving the train. They're making all the things happen for us. So,
well, all these years that you've done this now, did you coach more than one sport?
Yes, sir.
Now, you had the girls basketball, right?
Yes, sir.
And what else did we have?
Volleyball and softball. Now,
this is an unfair question, and evidently I'm allowed to ask those, and it's not one that's really a bad question. But in all those years, which sport did you enjoy the most?
I'll probably have to say basketball. That was something I grew up playing, and that was something I was really, really passionate about. But honestly, now that I'm in this role, I'm enjoying watching all of our sports, and all of our sports compete. So, I necessarily don't have a favorite. I just enjoy them all.
Well, and having gone through the years, you've seen this, and I've been in sports a long time myself, and the one thing that has really improved all these years has been the female athlete. Mm-hmm. And you said something like in basketball, and I'm going to ask you this question, because this has been my theory, who is the most athletic, or what is the difference between the female athlete and the male athlete?
Ooh, wow, that's a tough one. I don't know that I necessarily see a difference. I see our female athletes compete just as hard and work just as hard as our male athletes. I don't necessarily see that there's a big difference. Their passion, their drive, their work ethic. I'm proud of them, and I just don't see a difference. I just think that they're all doing what they need to be doing.
Well, and you're absolutely 100% correct, but I'm going to go down a different road than you took, and you see if you agree or not.
Okay.
When I see the male athlete, I see the boys playing above the rim.
Okay.
When I see the young lady athletes, I see them more technically better at passing, free throw shooting, taking the better shots. It's like they get the basics better than the guys. The guys are trying to make a highlight reel, and I don't mean that in a negative way.
Right.
But the young ladies seem to take more pride in being able to do what they're supposed to do and not let it get away from them, I guess, if that's a better way to put it.
Well, I would definitely agree with you in the sport of basketball, but I think on a level playing field with all the other sports, I feel like, what I originally said was, you take soccer, for instance, those girls are out there working just as hard as those guys, and,
Absolutely.
the guys may be a little bit taller, but those girls are getting after it too, so.
Well, I agree with that 100%. The one thing that I would ask you, being a coach and now an athletic director, talk about that transition, how it's been for you. What were the bigger challenges, or were the challenges that big? You might have fell right into a position, athletic director, that you maybe didn't realize you either wanted or were going to be good at, but have done both of those.
Well, I think having been a coach has helped me in this position, because I know the struggles that they have. Having been a student athlete, I understand the struggles that our student athletes have, both on the field, on the court, in the classroom, the responsibilities that they have. So I really feel like having been in those roles have prepared me well. Additionally, I was a women's college basketball official, and so now being an administrator, I feel like I could relate to my coaches, I can relate to the officials, I can, when they're upset about officiating or whatever, or the students, I can relate to all of it. So I feel like that has really prepared me for this position, and any way that I can serve them to make their jobs easier, that's the most important to me.
Well, from everything that I have seen and heard of you and the program here, you've been a success at every stop that you've made, so it's no surprise that you are at this one.
Well, thank
and
you.
I want to wish you all the luck in the world, and better luck for you and your athletes as we go forward, but awfully good to see you and look forward to visiting with the coaches and the athletes.
Thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it.
And we're going to take a quick break, folks. We come back, our first coach. Don't you go away. We'll be right back.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
Land of Frost Premium is America's best-selling one-pound deli pouch, now available in 12 delicious flavors, including new flavors of mesquite turkey and cotto salami. High school athletes across the country ask for Land of Frost by name. These great items are available at your local grocer, including Piggly Wiggly, Food Giant, Western supermarkets, and many more. Land of Frost also makes other varieties of lunch meats, including deli shaved bistro and sub sandwich kits. Land of Frost is a proud sponsor of youth sports as well.
At Andrew Sports Medicine, we partner with our patients, trying to help them overcome the obstacles that keep them from achieving their goals.
This practice aggressively pursues victory over injury, over pain, over limitation, over anything that's going to keep you from being the best you can be.
It starts with our non-surgical physicians who are trained in sports medicine, orthopedic injuries. We have specialists in sports medicine, shoulders, elbows, and knees. We have hip specialists that do only hip surgery, including arthroscopy, minimally invasive resurfacing, and total hip replacement if needed. We have joint replacement surgeons. We have spine surgeons. We have surgeons that specialize in foot and ankle surgery and in hand surgery. So just about all the specialties of orthopedics are covered at Andrew Sports Medicine.
What makes the great surgeons great is their volume of experience at making decisions, whether that's intraoperative decisions, post-operative decisions, pre-operative decisions, the decision to operate on somebody or not operate on them. And so our volume here breeds good decision making. That gives us an edge in terms of making decisions for our patients, which ultimately is a lot of times the difference between success and failure. The teams, the players, the parents have confidence in us because they know we're going to communicate with them. We're going to create a plan unique to that athlete or that person, and we're going to get them back to their thing and as quickly and as safely as we can.
At Andrew Sports Medicine, our mission is to partner with our patients and to help them succeed and achieve victory. Whether you're a weekend warrior, a grandparent with a shoulder problem, or a professional athlete, you get the same care, the same high-level technology, the same aggressiveness that we would in a professional athlete, and we treat everyone the same way. None of us like to lose. We're all very competitive, and we're not going to lose against their illness or their injury.
Again, folks, welcome back. As you can tell, I've got my first coach, guest of the afternoon. We're talking about the girls soccer coach here at Pelham, Miss Brittany Pollard. And Coach Pollard, awfully good to see you. And as we get this interview underway, tell us a little bit about your background and what has led you to be the girls soccer coach here.
Let's see, I'm from the Birmingham area. I graduated from Oak Mountain High School. I played varsity soccer there for 4 years. I went on to play at the University of Montevallo. And then, my mom kind of told me to go get a job. So I interviewed and landed my first job here at Pelham High School.
Really? So how many years is this for
This
you?
is my 9th year here
Really?
at Pelham. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about your girls, about your program, how you've done in the past, and what kind of year you had this year.
The program back when I was in high school was not maybe the best program around in the state. So coming in, I knew I had to try to change the culture at the school and get girls to buy in.
Well, I don't mean to interrupt you, but along those lines,
Yes, sir.
you would be a good person to talk about how the female soccer player and their sport has grown. And before we talk about your team,
All
talk
right.
about that in general, because you're right. Not many years ago, you didn't have that many participants, but now it's a major sport for you
It
ladies.
is. I think what hurt Pelham early on was when Oak Mountain was built. The split kind of took the girls soccer players were zoned to Oak Mountain, so they kind of had a rebuilding year there for a while in the early 2000s. And coming in, the sport was starting to grow and getting the girls to buy in and know that, soccer is supposed to be a fun part of their lives, and enjoying it. And that's kind of where we took off. We brought in the same group of girls. The 2014 class was the first class that I had as freshmen, so getting them to buy in. And, with girls, the way you look, if we make them feel special, they just perform better. So
Well,
it's
one
grown.
thing that I've wondered about too, and I'll ask you because I've asked other coaches, and some say yes, some say no. But are you guilty of recruiting in the hall, so to speak? Or are you one of these coaches that, hey, you look for the athletes that may not be participating and then try to convince them that you don't know what you're missing?
Oh, absolutely. We have a player on our team right now that we got out of the hallways her freshman year. She had on a soccer jersey, and we stopped her and said, hey, I think if you've played soccer, come out and see if it's fun. And she's been with us for 2 years. So we do, if you got a soccer jersey on, we're going to have a conversation and see if you've played or if it's just a friend's jersey, that you're wearing.
And I know Coach Keel and I were talking about this, and I'll get your opinion on it, is the field of soccer has grown tremendously, both male and female. And talk about what kind of advantage is when you talk to a young lady that may have an interest but has never taken that step. What's the factor that maybe pushes them from whatever you tell them to, hey, I might like that?
Just letting them know they'll be a part of a family, be part of something at the school, represent your community. We've got a great group of kids. They act like family, They hang out outside of school. It's not just soccer all the time. They're students first, and then the athletic part of it is just something that they get to, like I said, partake in and represent our community.
Well, the one thing that I would want to touch base with you about is something that you were just saying, too. They are becoming an important part of the system, so to speak. Their place in the athletics department has changed a lot. And you've seen these female athletes grow, and the sport of soccer continues to grow. And I think one of the main reasons is, like Coach Keel was saying too, that soccer is a sport that is played just on the same level with guys.
Absolutely.
And from that standpoint, as the old saying goes, is the sky the limit? I don't think, and maybe I'm sure you probably don't, soccer hasn't topped out as far as its interest in high school, has it?
I would say no. I think it's growing and hopefully will continue to grow for, years to come.
Now, are you talking about this is what, year number 8?
This is year number 9.
9?
Yes, sir.
And how did this year's team do?
We did well. We were 17-3. Lost to Chelsea, and then we lost our playoff matchup with Northridge. So a little disappointing the way it came to an end, but it gives them the motivation that we need as we prepare for next year.
Well, it does sound like y'all had an outstanding season. And from that standpoint, a soccer coach is no different from any other coach. You look to next year. So
Absolutely.
What does it look like you have coming back? Do you have the foundation for what could be a real good soccer team, and hopefully looking forward to new additions?
We will lose a couple key seniors this year, but I feel confident in saying that we'll be able to fill those roles with some young guys coming up. And as long as everybody, returns and comes back, we should be right where we were this year, and we'll look to, win that first round playoff matchup and see how far we can take that season.
Well, I know as far as looking toward next year, I have seen soccer grow just like you have. But one of the most important things, and the reason I do this program, is coaches such as yourself. A lot of times when you talk about high school coaches, you think about, oh, how successful they have been on and off the field, soccer field in this case. But the real situation is that it's twofold. The education comes first.
Absolutely.
And then they play their soccer. But many years ago when I started this program, I did it for the coaches, not for the kids initially, for the simple reason people don't realize how important and what a big part coaches such as yourself play in these young student athletes' lives, because you not only prepare them for their sport, which is soccer, you also prepare them for life after high school. And that's got to be very gratifying for you, knowing that you have a lot of influence in these young ladies' lives throughout their career. And sometimes you get to spend, I guess you've had athletes play 2 or 3 or 4 years for you, right?
I have 5.
And so talk about what kind of a personal feeling that gives you, that you're doing something very positive, not only on the field for them, but getting them prepared for life after high school.
Well, I mean, the senior class, for example, they're part of one of the first groups that's made the playoffs since being at Pelham with us. So seeing them as 8th graders just grow and mature into, great young women. They've got a bright future ahead of them. So seeing them be successful in the classroom, and what they're going to do with their future endeavors, that always will make somebody, happy and proud of them. So I know their parents are proud. I'm proud to see them be successful. So
well, I know from what you're saying now, it sounds like you're going to have a good group back, a good nucleus to grow from, and been very successful in these past few years. Look for even more success for you and your athletes in the years to come. But often good to meet you and visit with you, and I wish you and your girls all the best luck in the world in the future.
We appreciate it.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be visiting with 3 young athletes, very instrumental in the outstanding season Pelham had this year. We'll be right back.
At Andrews Sports Medicine, we partner with our patients, trying to help them overcome the obstacles that keep them from achieving their goals.
This practice aggressively pursues victory over injury, over pain, over limitation, over anything that's going to keep you from being the best you can be.
It starts with our non-surgical physicians who are trained in sports medicine, orthopedic injuries. We have specialists in sports medicine, shoulders, elbows, and knees. We have hip specialists that do only hip surgery, including arthroscopy, minimally invasive resurfacing, and total hip replacement if needed. We have joint replacement surgeons. We have spine surgeons. We have surgeons that specialize in foot and ankle surgery and in hand surgery. So just about all the specialties of orthopedics are covered at Andrews Sports Medicine.
What makes the great surgeons great is their volume of experience at making decisions, whether that's intraoperative decisions, post-operative decisions, pre-operative decisions, the decision to operate on somebody or not operate on them. And so our volume here breeds good decision making. That gives us an edge in terms of making decisions for our patients, which ultimately is a lot of times the difference between success and failure. The teams, the players, the parents have confidence in us because they know we're going to communicate with them. We're going to create a plan unique to that athlete or that person, and we're going to get them back to their thing as quickly and as safely as we can.
At Andrews Sports Medicine, our mission is to partner with our patients and to help them succeed and achieve victory. Whether you're a weekend warrior, a grandparent with a shoulder problem, or a professional athlete, you get the same care, the same high-level technology, the same aggressiveness that we would in a professional athlete, and we treat everyone the same way. None of us like to lose. We're all very competitive, and we're not going to lose against their illness or their injury.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm. Saved $760. Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Alan Gurdeau in Trussville today.
And folks, welcome back. As you can tell, I got 3 outstanding young female athletes here, outstanding soccer players, and I know they're probably better people. Sitting closest to me, Corey Ingram, 10th grader, right?
Yes, sir.
And you are a midfielder?
Actually, I play all the positions, but midfield is where I usually play.
Okay. And then Chanel Hernandez, a senior.
Yes.
And you're a defensive center midfielder, right?
Yes, playing the midfield.
Okay. And then finally, Lily, is that Kendra?
And Kenda.
Yeah, Kendra.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And you're a senior as well. And you play right back.
Yes, sir.
All righty. Well, girls, going into this season, and we'll start with you, Corey, what did you particularly expect out of yourself? What were your expectations for yourself and for your teammates?
Well, I expected myself to come out and be a leader on the field every day and set an example for how to behave on the field, off the field, just be an outstanding leader to all my teammates and classmates. And then I expected my teammates to not only look up to me, but also correct me when I was in the wrong, to step up for me when I wasn't there or something like that. So I also wanted to be successful during season and such like.
Well, good, good. And how about you, Chanel?
I definitely expected myself to improve on the field and off the field. I used the game as a way to improve my character, my leadership skills, and as a team, I just wanted us to make it as far, if not further, than we did it last year, and also improve as a group and overall.
Okay. How about you, Lily?
Yeah, same as them. I wanted to improve, and I wanted to step up and be a leader and just help the team do good.
Well, now, girls, one of the most important aspects of a team is team chemistry. And for some reason, I guess this makes me look like a male chauvinist pig, okay? So I don't mean to. Sometimes the ladies get a little more excited, I think, than the guys sometimes, maybe not. But I know the guys know how to settle conflicts, and sometimes you girls can be the coach's best friends, because if you've got good team chemistry and you sort of police yourself, so to speak, to make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, that makes that part of the job a whole lot easier for the head coach. So, Corey, with that in mind, talk about the chemistry on this year's team and how it's helped positively and maybe even negatively.
I think our team chemistry is like none other. You won't go anywhere else and find a team closer than our team. Obviously, we've had conflicts come up, but our team, like we're just very open about everything, which sometimes is very nice, and sometimes you want to put your head down and walk away. But our team, there's nobody on the team that just doesn't get along with anybody. Everybody gets along with everybody. Everybody's loving, and Coach is also a big part in that. Coach obviously has the authority on the field, but she's one of those where you can bring up a subject and Coach will just laugh it off or something like that. But she's got a big role in that, as long as the captains step up often, and team chemistry is like none other.
Well, I tell you what, and I mean this is a compliment, you talk more like a senior than a sophomore. So that's terrific, the attitude there. Chanel, and I know being a senior, you expect not only expect a lot out of yourself, but your teammates. And sometimes when, for lack of a better way to put it, because I guarantee you, I've been around male athletes, it happens. You get slack sometimes, you don't do what you're supposed to do, or your attitude's not exactly right. How important is that to you as a senior to be able to step up and maybe help the coach out in that situation? A lot of times you can police yourself better and take more pressure off the coach than you realize.
Yeah, so I think mentality for the game is definitely a big factor in the way we perform. So even on my off days, like when I wasn't like feeling it, when I had a bad day, things were just going wrong, I would still go out there and do the best I could every day so that my teammates would also perform to the standard that we set ourselves and to the best that they could.
Lily, talking about the success that the y'all team had this year, it was a good team. Mm-hmm. And you probably feel like, personally, you should have gone further in the playoffs than you did, but that's the nature of the beast sometimes. Sometimes we lose when we're supposed to win, and we win when people think we're going to lose. But the main thing I like to talk to young athletes about, and we'll start with you, is I know two things about you before we sit down. I know that you're good in the classroom, because you don't qualify there, you don't make it to the soccer field, and you're good athletes. Now, that takes a lot of work, right? So what I want to know, and I enjoy asking this question because you get different kind of answers. What do you, as a young athlete, do to unwind, get away from the stress of the academics and the athletic field during the week and just relax?
I like to take naps a lot. Also like hanging out with my family and friends and just having a good time.
You like those long, uninterrupted naps?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They seem to be the best.
Must
How
be
about
nice.
you, Chanel?
I like to kind of take time to think about what I did, what I could do, and then the outcome, always think of, the bigger picture and keep a positive mentality.
Okay, and how about you, Corey?
What I do in my free time, that sounds like something I don't really have a lot of, but what I do, running is a big distressor in my life, getting those endorphins going. Just running just makes me feel like I can actually run away from my problems, and that helps a lot. Watch Netflix, of course, like everybody else.
Right.
And my family and I go to the lake a lot, which is, I love the sun and just baking outside and getting tan, like a golden biscuit. That's my goal every time I walk outside.
When I know you're good athletes, and I know you're good students. What kind of hobbies do you have? What do you like to do that maybe would surprise us?
Really don't know. I feel like I'm kind of basic in that region. I just like to play, I guess. I don't know.
So you're sort of normal, huh?
Yeah, I just want to go out, hang out with my friends.
Okay.
Every day.
Chanel, what do you do that might surprise us, or is there anything?
That would surprise you, I don't know, but after practice every day, I would go to the gym and lift. Sometimes I go run at night, when it's starting to clear up, and just to have a free environment where I can just clear my head in a way that I enjoy, where I don't feel like I'm working, it's doing something that I love.
Okay. How about you, Lily?
I really like photography. And
Really?
Yeah, I do.
She's good at it.
Picture taker, huh? But I don't mean that in a cheap way at all. You must take good pictures if people talk about it.
I try.
And say you're good at it. Well, I tell you what, girls, I know that two of you are seniors and is off to college, or do you know where you're going, Chanel?
I will be going to my training for the military back in the fall, and then I'll attend college in the spring.
Okay, well, that's terrific. And how about you, Lily?
I'll be attending the University of South Alabama, majoring in computer science.
Oh, okay. And, of course, Miss Corey, you're going to be around a couple more years, right?
Yes, sir. Thank God.
But so it's not time to make those kind of decisions yet.
Those decisions are always around the corner. My goal is to play at the collegiate level. So I actually just got off the phone with one of the college coaches that I've been interested in, talking about coming to see me this weekend. So.
Well, good. Well, girls, I've enjoyed talking with you. One last question, and then we'll be through, and we'll start with you, Corey. To this point in your young life, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
The most inspirational person in my life is my dad, 100%. He grew up really, no better way to put it than poor, like straight dirt poor. But now there's no such thing as poor in Pelham, Alabama. So we make it, but he's made his way up from the bottom. So. Well,
good for you. Chanel?
I'd definitely say my mom, because she's not from here, so her coming, as an immigrant and building her way up to where she has, always telling me to strive for the best, do the best that I can do, and just seeing how hard she's worked to get me and my siblings to where we are and where we're going, has definitely inspired me to just do the best that I can at all times.
Terrific. Good. Lily?
I'd say my dad. Yeah, he's not from here either, so him being an immigrant, he's worked hard to be in the position that he's in and trying to provide for me.
Well, I tell you what, girls, especially you seniors, wish you all the luck in the world and whatever endeavors you go out and tackle after your high school years. And, Corey, we'll see you another couple of years. Folks, we'll take a quick break. We come back, another coach, more athletes. Don't you go away. We'll be right back.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of
The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors. A company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their number one objective. And folks, welcome back. As you can tell, I got another outstanding coach sitting behind me. It's the Pelham boys soccer coach, and we're talking about Patrick McDonald. Coach McDonald, good to see you.
Nice to be here.
And as we start out this interview, what I'd like to find out a little bit about you head coaches. Tell me a little bit about your background, how you ended up as a soccer coach here at Pelham.
This is the 13th year
Wow.
of being a head coach at Pelham High School, and I spent 2 years previous building the River Chase Middle soccer program and matriculated up with the boys, and so 15 years with the same system, and played at University of Montevallo, and growing up graduated from Hillcrest High School and played soccer in high school.
Okay, well, you're a good person, too, to ask about this. I was asking the coach about it of the girls. Talk about, from your standpoint, the interest and the growth in soccer the last few years, because for a long while, soccer was not a major sport.
Oh, it's definitely not centralized in strength anymore. I would take it back 8-9 years ago. You knew definitely where the seat of power of soccer was located at, and it was over the mountain. But that's not the case anymore. Soccer is everywhere, and whomever we play, they're going to give us an outstanding game, and it's going to challenge our boys because everybody plays soccer now. It's very prevalent at the youth level. It's the most widely attended youth sport in America now. So it's just kind of one of those things where everybody's kind of grown up with it the last couple years, and it's in every high school pretty much in this area.
I want an opinionated answer on this question. In my mind, one of the main reasons why I think soccer has started experiencing a lot of growth is that there aren't as many injuries. There are injuries, don't get me wrong, it's a physical sport, but it's not like football in particular. And like I said, when it comes to basketball and baseball, I've seen me being an outsider from a soccer standpoint. I have seen the growth myself because I've been involved in sports many years. And on one hand, it has surprised me a little bit. Has it surprised you? And
we've seen that trend.
It hadn't peaked yet either.
No, I don't think so. On the youth side of things, where football might not be as popular as it was because of, we're talking about the injury rate. You do see parents looking for another sport, and soccer is one of the sports that's filling that need. It's usually a very cost-prohibitive sport. It's really easy to get a program up and going. You just need a field and 2 goals and a ball, and you're good to go. But and also the heading aspect has been taken out at the youth level. So that will greatly reduce the concussions of younger youth players. So that I feel like U.S. Soccer has done a really good job about implementing that and getting the kids to a stage where they don't start heading the ball till they are at the U13 level.
Well, I know I have gotten 2 grandkids that have played soccer among other sports, and I know I was at a soccer match, and my granddaughter played at Gardendale, and they were playing a team, and the one thing I've noticed about soccer is, it's a sport that you're going to get winded at.
Oh,
and so in the second half, I told my son, well, who's got the advantage, because one team might be more winded than the other. He said, Dad, neither one of them have the advantage because both of them are playing the same amount of time. And it didn't really click until he said that. So as the old saying goes, a player can't use up all that energy in the first half. There won't be nothing left in the second half. So I guess, and you played soccer, did you somehow gauge the how much you put into it, and it's
Yeah,
where
like
you didn't burn out.
Yeah,
before the game was
sometimes,
over.
a lot of times, the boys, especially for a big game, they want to get right at it. You know, they want to warm up early. They want to, you know, train a little harder before the game. And, you know, as, you know, their coach, you have to do the right thing for them and get the rhythm the same as you have the game before and the game before. So, you know, they have the same amount of time for warming up, you know, because if you leave it up to the boys, you know, they'll go out there an hour and a half ready before that big game, and they'll tire out because, you know, they're amped up and ready to play, and they don't really realize that that level of energy is needed for the actual competition itself.
What was your guys' record? Y'all's team
We were
this year?
15-10-1 this year.
Okay. All right, now what I wonder about that, to me, and I don't know the difference now, it would look like a little above average. But what I'm wondering is, of course, with the season being over with and everything, how did your class end up graduation-wise? Are you going to have a good nucleus coming back next year? And
We
how about the
actually
young
don't.
folks coming
Yeah,
on?
about to say, we have 17 seniors. And, you know, even though we played 26 games, we played 23 of our 26 games against playoff teams.
Yeah.
So, you know, we really did put them through a very rigorous schedule to get them ready for the playoffs. And, you know, the schedule is designed for them to understand, hey, every game that we play is going to be a hard-fought victory. And, you know, it's up to us to come out on the winning side. But with as many seniors as we had this year, that experience really did help going down the final stretch because we had kids that had been in that situation in the past and knew kind of what to lean on when the big games came in that situation.
When I know soccer from this standpoint is no different than any other sport, I imagine you as a coach are wanting your team to peak come
absolutely.
playoff time. And so, but the one thing that I wonder, pace, it may be the right word to use. Somehow you have to pace yourself a little bit because you don't want to use all that's in the tank in the first half.
That's correct. Pacing is huge. Team chemistry is huge. But, you know, when you're having a team and you have 22, 23, 24 boys on your roster, only 11 play at once.
Right.
So team chemistry is so huge that the boys understand everybody on the team has a role. And that role is different. And, you know, some of the boys are going to get more minutes than others. Some are starters, some of are reserves. But if they understand their responsibilities and what that job entails, it makes our job as coaches so much easier because then they buy in more. And when we see success in those big games, then they're willing to sacrifice that playing time or willing to sacrifice because we're being successful in the long run.
This may be the wrong question to ask. I don't think it is, but are you as well a recruiter as well as a head coach?
Well,
or sounds like you've got a lot of kids that participate in
yeah,
the program
we have a
already.
huge participation group. You know, it starts in the 7th grade, and we want to Pied Piper them up to the high school and keep them involved. So, you know, at the very beginning, it's about, are they having a good time? Are they getting experience? And then you start with the increasing difficulty of the competition and making it still enjoyable, but at the same time challenging.
Right.
And you know, that's the line that you kind of teeter on is, you know, you want the kids getting better, but at the same time, if they're not having a good time, they're not going to stay with it. And you know, you want the boys from 7th grade to seniors to have a 6-year legacy where they look back and say, hey, I accomplished a lot in my time, and I'm very happy and proud of what I did at Pelham High School.
Well, Coach McDonald, it seems like you're doing an awfully good job here, and the participation, it sounds like you have a lot of youngsters participating in your program, and that's what it's all about, being the best they can be with what you can do with them.
Yes, sir.
So sounds like you've been very successful in the past. Look forward to more success in the future. Thanks for visiting with us.
Okay, thank you so much.
And we'll take a quick break. When we come back, 3 young athletes very instrumental in the outstanding year that the Pelham guys had this year. We'll be right back.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm. Saved $760. Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Alan Gurdeau in Trussville today.
At Andrew Sports Medicine, we partner with our patients, trying to help them overcome the obstacles that keep them from achieving their goals.
This practice aggressively pursues victory over injury, over pain, over limitation, over anything that's going to keep you from being the best you can be.
It starts with our non-surgical physicians who are trained in sports medicine, orthopedic injuries. We have specialists in sports medicine with shoulders, elbows, and knees. We have hip specialists that do only hip surgery, including arthroscopy, minimally invasive resurfacing, and total hip replacement if needed. We have joint replacement surgeons. We have spine surgeons. We have surgeons that specialize in foot and ankle surgery and in hand surgery. So just about all the specialties of orthopedics are covered at Andrew Sports Medicine.
What makes the great surgeons great is their volume of experience at making decisions, whether that's intraoperative decisions, postoperative decisions, preoperative decisions, the decision to operate on somebody or not operate on them. And so our volume here breeds good decision making. That gives us an edge in terms of making decisions for our patients, which ultimately is a lot of times the difference between success and failure. The teams, the players, the parents have confidence in us because they know we're going to communicate with them. We're going to create a plan unique to that athlete or that person, and we're going to get them back to their thing and as quickly and as safely as we can.
At Andrew Sports Medicine, our mission is to partner with our patients and to help them succeed and achieve victory. Whether you're a weekend warrior, a grandparent with a shoulder problem, or a professional athlete, you get the same care, the same high-level technology, the same aggressiveness that we would in a professional athlete, and we treat everyone the same way. None of us like to lose. We're all very competitive, and we're not going to lose against their illness or their injury.
And folks, welcome back. You can tell I got two outstanding young athletes here, and very good soccer players because they had a good year this year as well. And sitting closest to me, Jalen Cook, a senior, and you're a wingman?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then Ever Serrano?
Yes, sir.
And you're a senior as well, and midfielder?
Yes, sir. Center mid.
Center defender, midfield?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll start with you. Ever, that means in soccer, I wish I knew soccer like I do football, but I don't, but I'm learning.
Yes, sir.
So defense is just as important as offense on one hand,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
And so, first of all, how many years have you been playing soccer?
I've been playing since I was 5 years old.
Oh, really?
I've been for the school since I was in 8th grade. Yes, sir. I've been playing varsity since.
Have you played? Do you play any other sport?
No, sir. Just
soccer. Well,
yes,
there ain't
sir.
nothing wrong with that. Good for you.
Yes,
And Jalen, you're a senior as well. Do you participate
sir.
in any other sports?
I play football. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I don't mean to put you in a bad position with the head coach around, but which you like best, football or soccer?
They're both really fun.
You got politician written all over you, buddy. Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you a question. I know both of you are outstanding athletes, outstanding students. What do you do to unwind, to relax, and just a little downtime for yourself? And we'll start with you, Jalen.
I work at Chick-fil-A in my free time.
Okay, so between working and books and soccer, there's not a whole lot of free time,
No, sir.
but there is some. All right, both you guys being seniors, Jalen, where do you hope to go to school?
I'm attending University of Alabama at Huntsville.
Okay. Are you going to play soccer there?
I'm in the process of walking on.
Okay,
Yes,
well, great, terrific. Now, what kind of, in case you don't end up being a professional soccer player, what do you hope to do one day?
Electrical engineer.
Okay, well, good for you. And Ever, how about you?
Right now, I don't have plans to attend any school. Just plan on working right now. Having my dad out. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, guys, going into this year, of course, seniors, being seniors a lot was expected out of you. And one thing that helps not only individually as a team, but is good team chemistry. Ever with that thought in mind, talk about the chemistry on this year's team for y'all.
I think the chemistry was amazing. You know, the team bonding, everybody's friends. We get along very well. You know, there's not really any conflicts, but when there is, we all talk it out. So I think it's great.
How about you, Jalen?
Well, like you said, we had 17 seniors, and we're all like, we've been playing since 7th grade, so we just known each other for a long time.
When a question that interests me a little bit is why soccer? What turned you on to soccer? What'd you like about it?
When I was a little kid at the YMCA, I got hit in the face playing baseball, and I went to soccer.
Man, that sounds like a good enough reason for me.
Yes, sir.
And but that's an interesting reason. You know, sometimes it's interesting to find why a person chooses their sport and why they don't. Ever, how about you?
Well, soccer's just been in my family ever since forever. My dad plays soccer, my grandpa. It's been in my family, so all my brothers play soccer too.
Yeah. Now, all right. If I wanted to know something about you guys that might surprise me, a hobby or whatever, what would you say, Jalen? If I said, what kind of hobby have you got, or what do you like to do that would surprise me?
What do I like to do that would surprise me? I work. Like, that's all I do. I work and go to school. And then.
You work in 3 places, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You work in the classroom. You work on the soccer field.
Yes, sir.
And definitely to make a little money, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's terrific. Okay. When you see that schedule pop up, you guys both been in probably playing how many years soccer?
A lot.
Well, I mean, with the high school,
4.
what, 4 years? When that schedule shows up, is there a team that you enjoy competing against more than another? Who is it?
Helena.
Why?
They're our rival, and they beat us for the first time ever last year, and being able to beat them twice this year was.
Well, do you know anybody from that area?
Like, I know of them, but I'm real strict on, like, I don't talk to them. I don't like them. They're the other team.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you. Now don't mix words now, because I have a hard time understanding how you feel about them.
Yes,
you don't like them, you ain't going to mess with them. That's all right. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Eber, how about you?
I'd say Thompson.
Thompson's another rivalry. You know people from there?
Yeah, and I got a couple friends over there that like to talk, so we shut them up.
All right, now see, us athletes, we're a strange bunch. We have little old things that we think we got to do one way or the other, or we're not going to play well, we're not going to do this. And so if you had something that you felt like a routine you had to do over and over, a superstition, for lack of a better way to put it, Eber, what would it be?
A routine I have for game day is I wear my left sock on my right and my right on my left.
Now, does that make you think you're going to play better? Or do you just
in my head, in my head it is.
Well, you know what? That's right. It's a mental thing.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm going to share something with you in a second. How about you, Jalen?
I ate the same meal every playoff game day and drank a lot of water.
Yeah.
I had a gallon jug I'd carry around school.
Really? And you think that's going to make you better?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it probably will help. But let me tell you guys, it's up here.
Yes, sir.
And so, regardless of what you do like that, what's actually going to take you as far as you're going to go is how good you are in your sport. And
yes,
both
sir.
of you seem like you are pretty good guys. Do you watch, now like, I'm a baseball, basketball, football man, sort of, and I'm learning other sports as well. But is there any team where I would watch a professional team or a college team, is there any team, and we'll start with you, Ever, that you like to watch on TV if you could catch a soccer match? Or?
Yes, I like to watch Real Madrid.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
they just have
those are pretty good teams, good athletes,
yes,
right?
Sir. They're one of the best athletes in the world.
Yep. Okay. How about you, Jalen?
I don't watch soccer, like, zero, so I like football and basketball.
Really? Who's your favorite football team?
I'll go for Alabama and the LA Chargers.
Okay. Well, that's all right. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Now, guys, both of you are seniors.
Yes,
so
sir.
what do you hope to do one day with your educations? And we'll start with you, Evan.
Like I said, I don't have plans attending school, but if I ever do attend school, I'd like to be an electrician.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever thought in the back of your minds, soccer's been good to you, right?
Yes, sir.
You ever thought about coaching soccer?
It's been up there, but...
Now, Jalen, you're a good, controversial, down-to-earth kind of guy. Why would you not ever want to coach
I don't have
something?
patience with teens, kids. It's not.
Well, you're good to say that because patience is a virtue. I'm not a very virtuous guy either. I mean, I don't. I don't like to put up with people that can't do their best or try to do the right thing. So sometimes it works out that way. Well, guys, I know you had an awfully good season. I wish you all the luck in the world, whatever endeavors you have going down the road. But to this point in your young life, and we'll start with you, Everett, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
My dad.
Your dad?
Yes, sir. I want to have his mindset on and off the field. It's just great.
Well, that's good because the support of mom and dad, but one of them really sticks out. That's a positive as well. How about you, Jalen?
My mom, she was at all my games since in middle school. She's missed maybe like a couple games.
Well, absolutely. When nobody else is in our corner, we know mom's always there.
Yes, sir.
Well, guys, an outstanding career here. Wish you all the best in the future.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Thank you.
Folks, we've had another outstanding show, outstanding coaches, outstanding athletes. We'll do it again next week. But till then, you know what the snapper always says, bicycle.
All right, guys, your turn. You say bicycle.
Bicycle.
That's pretty sharp.